We all have these great habits we want to build, but actually making them stick? Yeah, that can be so frustrating. But what if I told you there's a simple, almost automatic way to lock in those positive changes without having to rely on sheer willpower? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive in today, a really cool technique called habit stacking. I mean, we've all been there, right? You start Monday, fired up, totally motivated. You're going to meditate, you're going to read more, drink more water, and then Wednesday rolls around and that new habit is just gone. It's a classic, frustrating cycle. So yeah, let's talk about the habit that won't stick. Because the real issue here is that we often think good intentions are all we need. We rely on our memory or willpower to push through. But let's be honest, good intentions have a pretty short shelf life, and that's exactly why so many of our best laid plans just fizzle out.
And this is so important to get. It's not a failure of character. It's not that you don't want it enough. The reason most new habits fail is that we're using the wrong strategy entirely. What we really need is a better system, not just more motivation.
And that brings us right here to the system we've been looking for. So let's introduce habit stacking. This is a super simple technique that's designed to work with your brain's natural programming, not against it. It's a total game changer.
So here's the big idea behind habit stacking. Instead of trying to create a new habit out of thin air, you just stack it right on top of something you already do without even thinking about it. Like brushing your teeth or making that morning coffee. By linking the new thing to an old automatic one, you're basically hijacking a pre-existing pathway in your brain, which makes the new habit feel way easier to adopt.
And the formula for this? It's almost ridiculously simple. It's just, after my current habit, I will do my new habit. That's it. Your existing routine becomes the trigger for the new one. You don't even have to remember to do it because the old habit does all the reminding for you. Exactly. It's like creating a chain reaction. The momentum from one thing you just did flows right into the next, and the whole process starts to feel seamless and totally automatic. Okay, so how do you actually put this into practice? Let's get into your simple stacking blueprint. We're going to walk through a really practical 5-step plan that you can literally start using today. All right, first up, just find a solid automatic habit you already do every day. Then pick one small new habit you want to build. Now you just link them together using that simple formula. From there, it's all about practice. Just repeat that sequence over and over. And hey, don't be afraid to adjust it. If it's not working, no big deal. Maybe you just need a different anchor habit. Okay, time for some real-world examples and benefits. Let's make this super clear by looking at what this actually looks like in a typical day. It's one thing to talk about it, but another to see it in action. Check these out. While your coffee's brewing, you meditate for just 1 minute. Right after you brush your teeth, you drink a big glass of water. See how it works? Each new habit is anchored to something you were gonna do anyway. It's so elegant and honestly incredibly effective. And the payoff here is huge. You're not just building one little habit, you're actually creating a more efficient, more consistent version of yourself. You totally eliminate that daily debate of, should I do this now? Because the decision is already made for you. And that reduction in decision fatigue, it frees up so much mental energy for more important stuff. It's all automatic. All right, on to our final section. Let's start your first stack. Because of course, even with a great system like this, you might hit a few bumps in the road. So let's talk about how to get over them. And that's a fair question, right? What happens when you build a stack, but it just keeps falling apart? Let's break down the most common reasons that happens. So the single biggest mistake people make is trying to stack way too much, way too soon. Seriously, just start with one tiny new habit. If you find yourself getting distracted, try to create a little space where you can focus, even if it's just for a few minutes. And look, if you miss a day, don't sweat it. Just get right back to it the next day. The real key here is patience and flexibility. So to wrap up the keys to success, remember these 3 things. 1, start incredibly small. 2, be super specific about it, not just exercise, but do 5 push-ups. And 3, track your progress. Seriously, even just a simple check mark on a calendar can give you that little boost of motivation to keep going. And that pretty much brings us to the end. The real power of this whole idea is that you can apply it immediately. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What's one tiny, simple habit you can stack onto your routine first thing tomorrow morning?